brisk, beautiful morning here in Queensland, and I've got a bit of an adventure in store for me. We're going to be heading to enjoy the ultimate farm experience, but before that we have a special ride to take aboard a boat that was built way back in 1912. All aboard, here we go. So the TSS Earnshaw is no ordinary ship. It's the only remaining coal-fired steamer ship in the southern hemisphere. Yes, the Earnshaw, which travels daily up and down Queensland's Lake Wakatipu, is not just a great ride through stunning waters. In fact, the Lady of the Lake, as she is known, has a pretty distinguished history, one which includes a cameo in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. What can I say? This really is an anchor. This would hold a ship down. And we're off! Adventure, here we come. And lest we forget, the Earnshaw dates back to the year of the Titanic, though thankfully, as you can see, with a far happier fate. I know it's a cliche, but it simply must be said. I'm the king of the world! Okay, moment of self-indulgence over, it's back to the scenery. Lake Wakatipu, by the way, is no ordinary lake. It's the third largest in New Zealand and is flanked by the remarkable mountains. That's their name, by the way, not just a rapturous description by me. And it must be said, it's not just beautiful here, it's ridiculously beautiful. I literally feel as though I'm in some strange scene out of a movie. I cannot begin to describe how incredibly beautiful it is. And I mean, here I am, silly old me from Mumbai, India, in a boat, a steamer boat that's close to 100 years old, heading straight into that magical view over there. If you are by any chance able to tear yourself away from the view, there are plenty more treats inside. So I think that's our first port of call, so to speak. Now I did mention that this was a boat built close to 100 years ago, which means that it runs in slightly different ways than the ships that we are used to these days. So we're about to head down into the boiler room to see how differently things worked way back when. Into the bowel of the boat we go, where it's pretty steamy and there's lots of activity. Sounds strangely familiar. Anywho, how often do you get to see a sight like this? It's hard, heavy work. The boat has a 14-ton coal capacity. Yes, 14-ton. And since the Earnshaw runs 11 months of the year, sometimes into 14-hour days, you have to wonder what makes it worth it.
The main thing about it is the heritage value of it. It's quite an old boat and been on the lake since 1912. And yes, it's one of the last hand-fired coal steam boilers around. So.
All right, I'm about to become captain of this ship, if only for a few seconds, right? Excellent. So I actually get to steer?
That's it.
Love it. Thank you. How sassy do I look? Now what do I have to do? Hey.
Don't crash.
that would be yes.
No, you're
my
right.
first step.
No, I suppose that's
Step 1 achieved. No crash.
fresh water too, so we don't rusting.
And look.
No, so badly, I imagine.
Land ahoy. We've reached. This then is the Walter Peak High Country Farm. It has a ring, doesn't it? And the landscape, don't even get me started because adventures await and I need to get to them. Fans of Enid Blyton, brace yourself. This is a farm and it's time to meet some furry friends. Alright, so here it is. I get to go and I'm feeding sheep. Who knew? God, I cannot tell you how thick. Okay, see if you can get a sense of how thick the wool is on this one. Okay, he's running away. Doesn't like me fondling his backside. This one, on the other hand, doesn't have quite as much. They don't seem to like me. I don't understand it. I'm carrying food. I'm stroking them, petting them, and they run. What was I doing wrong? Could they smell the lamb chops I had for dinner last night? Huh. Well, since venison wasn't on the menu, I shifted to the deer, hoping for a slightly happier reception. But why should they be the only ones getting fed? Now, as any famous five will tell you, you cannot possibly be at a farmhouse without having a grand farmhouse tea. Okay, wow. This is a farmstead, and since I'd met the fauna, I could concentrate on the extraordinary flora. Who needs food when surrounded by this? Turns out I do. Don't say greedy, fresh air helps build up an appetite. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Gosh, it all looks amazing. I know what I'm going to have. A little bit of everything. Right, fed and watered, check. On to the next. We head into the paddock to say hello to some horses. I'm going to try riding. I haven't done this in about 20 years. Wish me luck and hope that that beauty over there does not decide to buck me off. Hi. Oh, gosh, aren't you pretty? All right, National Velvet I'm not, but I think I did okay. Poor Lone Star, my humble steed, is probably used to a far brisker pace. But all good things must come to an end. Actually, this is the one place in which they don't. The farm may have been done, but I had a boat and a view to return to. If this is life in New Zealand, what can I say? Where do I sign up? As soon as possible, please.
Tubar.com